Hey guys, it's that Dividend guy coming at you with another Robinhood portfolio update. Happy Monday. Hopefully everybody's having a GGD, a great green day in the market. You know I always wish the best for my viewers and subscribers. So for today, we're going to look at the overall portfolio value. Of course, the value by the metrics, the buying power. And then we're going to take a look at the individual holdings within the portfolio and see if there are any deals within the account. See if there are any stocks that are way above our average cost that we wouldn't want to touch, or maybe some stocks that could be in a good buying range for us that we should be taking advantage of. Then, of course, we're going to take a look at the watch list, which has Costco and Berkshire Hathaway Class B stock, because Class A stock is ridiculously expensive, and so I want a piece of Berkshire. I actually got picked on by my stepdad because he gave us a gift of some free cash for Christmas, and I put it in my savings account like a good noodle instead of buying Berkshire Hathaway outright like he wanted me to. They're trying to make good financial moves, but that does not mean that I don't want the stock. First up, we're sitting for today up about $535, right around a 1% return. For that 1 week, and in the short term, we don't care what this does, right? It's all about long term for me. So that 1 week mark, we are up $579.16, 1.04% return. It's just cool to see how it goes, how it grows over time. But then for the 1 month mark, we are up $4,500 and 8.7% return. That 3 month mark, we are up almost $5,600 with an 11.02% return. Then year to date, we are up $7,000 with a 14.24% return. And then on that 1 year mark, we are up $13,015.92. A 30% return in the past year. And then all time, we are up $30,350.93 with a 116.7% return all time. So guys, I've been investing for a handful of years, since 2018, so about 7-8 years. And I've learned a lot over the course of that time. So as you guys can see from this long-term chart, it has not been all, glitters and gold. It has not been all up. Like, we've had some major downturns. Like, I was at 25, it dropped down to like 22, and then it got all the way up to like 36, dropped back down, all the way up to like 44, dropped back down. So there's been a lot of peaks and valleys, but the lowest it's ever been is 23,000. We got all the way up to 43, 45, and dropped back down to 35, and then we've been upticking since then. So this portfolio did pretty well during COVID. There were a couple deals that I could have taken advantage of, but I just didn't understand the companies well enough. But looking back, cruise lines and airfare stocks would have been perfect. Transportation in general would have made a killing in hindsight. That's okay. That wasn't my game plan. So it's not necessarily a lost opportunity if you don't understand the business. Buying power sitting at $99.74 today. That will be going up to about $100 because when we go through the individual positions, you'll see that I'll get a dividend from Realty Income, and eventually I'll get a dividend from Google for this month as well. And that will push us past the $100 mark. So jumping right in, Realty Income, ticker symbol O, Dividend Aristocrat, which means that it has paid a dividend for 25 consecutive years and grown the dividend every single year. Sitting at 5 shares, around $300 of market value. Average cost is right around $52 per share. 0.5% of the portfolio is in Realty Income. Today we are up $3.15. Total we are up nearly $37 with a 14% return. And then guys, of course, it is a monthly dividend payer. So every single month, this company pays me a dividend. And I use that to reinvest into the next month. So as of right now, it's paying me $1.34 a month. The more shares I add, of course, the more dividend income I'm going to have. So I used to have around 170 shares of this company. I plan on building it back up once it gets to a price where it makes sense for me to purchase it. I was making about 45, almost $50 a month from this company, and I want to get back to that point. So the main goal for Realty Income is to be a substitute for when nothing is available to purchase. So, and sometimes, like as of right now, it's still it's over my average cost, but if, let's say, like Apple and AbbVie are both too expensive and Google or Visa aren't an option, I'm going to put it into Realty Income. So this is one of those that it's easy to just, if there's no good deals in the portfolio at the moment, just put it in here and my income goes up every month still because this pays every single month. So it's a good alternative investment. I love real estate. I just don't understand it. I would never buy a property as of right now. I don't understand the ins and outs, especially real estate in my market. So I want exposure to this type of investment, but I don't want the headache of being a landlord. To me, that's a nightmare. I struggle to sleep the way it is. I don't need calls about a toilet or a washer, dryer, heating, a roof, anything like that at 2 a.m. So I would rather own Realty Income, who does all the headache stuff for me, and I just get the check. So this is my way of being a landlord and just getting a monthly check. So it's perfect for people who want a hands-off approach on real estate, and they want somebody else to manage their portfolio for them when it comes to those real estate properties. So this is like the best option for me possible, and I plan on holding the stock for a very long time. The only reason that I actually sold this stock was because I was at a loss, and it was the biggest position that I had at a loss at the time, and I wanted to lower my taxable income for tax purposes, and it worked. So overall, like I made the right move, but I do want to build this position back up, and I'm excited to get it back up to that share count of about 170 shares. Next up, we got Altria. Nearly $60 per share. We got 320 shares, almost $19,000 of market value. Average cost is right around $47 per share. 33.67% of the portfolio, so a third of my money is in Altria. Today we're up almost $500. Total, we're up almost $4,000 with a 25% return. Guys, this is the biggest individual payer in the entire portfolio. The goal for Altria, and it definitely checks off this box, it either buys me a share of Apple forever, buys me a share of Visa forever, or buys me a share of Google forever, depending on which one's on sale. But as of right now, the main goal for the portfolio is to buy more shares of Apple. So Altria pays me $320 as long as Apple stays below that $320 share count or share price. I'm going to purchase Apple shares with it, and then any extra that's after that purchase is just gravy. It's just extra free cash to sit in the portfolio, or if it is enough to buy something else in the portfolio, like maybe Realty Income or Coca-Cola, one of those smaller priced stocks, one of those cheaper options, I could add that as well. So Altria does its job really well. I have no issues holding big tobacco. I think overall the market's finally realizing the mistake that it burdened the company too much with Juul, and I think it's going to pay off in the long run. I mean, they own the Coca-Cola of the cigarette industry, so I'm not worried about their profitability long term. Even if smoking rates are going down, they still have pricing power when it comes to that brand. Next up, we've got Coca-Cola sitting at $72.89, up at almost $1.50 today. We've got 15 shares of this Dividend King, almost $1,100 of market value. Average cost is $60.54, so we're up pretty big, 20% gain here on Coca-Cola. Nearly 2% of the portfolio is in Coke. Today, we're up $22. In total, we're up $185 with a 20% return. So guys, I want to buy Coke around $63 a share, not $73. So I'm going to be waiting for this to drop. It is going to be one of my top 5 foundational companies. I want it to be Apple, Visa, Google, Coke, and Berkshire. So this is one of those that I want to purchase it, but you don't want to purchase everything at any price. You definitely want to have a good mark of where you want to get in, and it's essentially not necessarily where you want to get out, but where you no longer want to purchase those companies. So as of right now, like 65 is my max. 63, 65 is about where I'd want to purchase it at, or lower. So I'm not purchasing Coca-Cola at this moment, but it will be one of the bigger positions because I love the company. Next up, we've got Apple. Dang, which dropped big. That's awesome. Still not low enough for my average cost, but close enough. We got 10 shares, $2,200 of market value. That's a big drop, 5% in a day. $220 is about our average cost. 4% of the portfolio is in Apple. Today, we are down $128, 5% loss. Total, we are up almost $75 with a 3.3% gain. I don't see any Apple search payment deal. Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's probably bad earnings report or something like that, which is something I could take advantage of, and I don't think is a big deal long term for Apple. I love when headlines start flying for companies like Apple or Visa, because these are some of the, well, not some of, these are the highest quality companies in the world. So it's going to take something drastic, like Apple not sharing their iPhone sales, or maybe a decrease in, I don't know, like app spending for the Apple Play Store, something like that, or Google Play Store. Like, it's going to take something massive, like Bing being cut out, or not Bing, Chrome being cut out of Google, something like that. It's got to be something that is something that's scary, right? But something that's not going to completely derail the business. So, like, an example would be them saying that, like, they can't sell AirPods because of their deal with Beats, right? Okay, not a huge deal. They still have headphones, right? I'm not worried about that. But if they say, like, iPhones can't be sold in America or China anymore, that's a fundamental shift in their business. So it depends on what the news is, but generally with big news stories, when it comes, like, bad news stories with Apple or Google, Visa, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, any of those big name companies, normally those are times to jump in. So I obviously need to take a look at some of the headlines, see if it was an earnings report, maybe they reported bad numbers, something like that. But either way, guys, it went from 240 to 226 in a day. So this is definitely a good time, a good time for me to purchase it, because it has dropped. So I'm definitely going to be purchasing some Apple with my next check on. Hopefully it stays this low till Friday, because it's only Monday. I got 4 days left, and anything can happen in the short term with the market. So hopefully the bad news sticks with the company for a little bit, and I can buy some more. Next up, we've got AbbVie, which is still climbing high, $4.11. Ironic that it's up, almost half of what Apple's down today. 95 shares, 20,000, nearly 21,000. I'm gonna say $21,000 of market value. Average cost is right around $95 a share. Almost 37% of the portfolio is in AbbVie. Today we're up $400, a 2% gain. Total, we are up $11,700, a near 130% return. So guys, I put in like $9,000 in this company. Yeah, right about 9,000. So I've more than doubled my money. The dividend has grown at a really good clip, and the profitability of the company's been great. So I'm not gonna cut the forest for the. I'm not gonna cut out the biggest tree I have in my garden in my garden versus weeds. So I'm not gonna move the money. I'm not gonna change out the company. I'm just gonna let it keep rolling. Right. The worst thing that you can do as an investor is stop compounding. Now, keep in mind, like, anything can happen with this AbbVie investment. It could drop back down to like $90 a share. Either way, as long as the pipeline is decent and the profitability stays around where it's at, I don't mind, right? So the worst thing you can do as an investor is have a winning stock and cut that and take profits, because you get greedy. So I'm going to let this roll out. I'm thinking that AbbVie's probably going to be my American Express for Buffett. We'll see. I'm hoping that's my parallel. I could be wrong. Anything could happen. Anything could shift. But, if it goes lower, I'm not mad about missing out on those profits, because I believe in the company long term. And yeah, I feel like it would be like Apple having a hiccup. I just buy more. Then we got Visa down a little bit today at $342.72. We've got 35 shares, nearly $12K worth of market value. Average cost is right around $348, so a nice buy opportunity here on Visa. Around a little bit more than 21% of the portfolio is in Visa. Today we are down around $90. Total, we're down 172 with about 1.5% loss. So this is a buying opportunity for me with Visa stock, but I believe Google's still lower, as in, like, the stock is at a better purchasing price for me, but it's definitely not one I want to overlook. I really do love Visa. I would not be mad or surprised if this company overtakes Apple eventually as the single biggest holding, and I'd be comfortable with that too. So right now is a small buying opportunity for Visa. We'll see if I can take advantage. As of right now, I still think that if I were to, like, rank them, I'm guessing Google's going to be the best option because it's been down quite a bit lately. Then Visa and then Apple. But I still want to buy my 1 share of Apple per month. Next up, we got Google at 167. Yep, I figured it was down pretty big. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll have to take a look at the Google news as well, but that's really good news for me. So yeah, definitely Google's a buy for me. Down $8 today, about 5%, as much as Apple is actually. That's interesting. We have 6 shares, $1,000 of market value. That will be going up shortly. Average cost is around $200 per share, so a nice buying opportunity here. About 1.8% of the portfolios in Google. Down $50 today, total down 155, 13% loss. So definitely, if you compare it, I'm at a 1.5% loss, and Apple, the one that I wanted to buy, even though it is down, it's still up compared to my average cost. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Apple's not a better buy than Google or Visa. But as of the price for me personally, I'd definitely be adding to Google before I added to Apple. We'll see. Hopefully I am able to buy a share of Apple, which would be $225, so $380, so almost $400 if I bought an Apple and Google share, which would be the goal. Overall, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. And as for the watch list, I mean, Costco for me, below 1,000's a buy. And Berkshire around 500. I'll just bite the bullet and buy it at 5. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button, guys. We've been getting a lot of subscribers. I believe we're over 1,300 now, which is insane. Like 2 weeks ago, we were at like 700 subscribers, and we've almost doubled in the past like week and a half. So I'm super excited about that. So if you're new here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another Robinhood portfolio update. Take care, guys.